Hey everybody, this is HD. Welcome back. It's time for another HD broadcast, and today I wanted to bring to you guys an exhibition game. As you guys all know, I just announced the HD World Tournament, and it is going to be beginning very soon. I think the games are going to start coming out onto YouTube in about a week's time. So I'm going to have the just standard broadcast, going to be broadcasting them over YouTube as I always have, and so you guys can look out for those games to start coming in about a week. Now, what is that SCV doing? Now, obviously, before the games begin, there's still about a week's time away, so I still want to do a couple exhibition games until then, and this is a set of games that I am definitely looking forward to casting. It is gonna be a Terran versus Terran, and our one Terran player up here at the top left is going to be none other than Liquid, the little one, and his opponent is going to be Goody. So it's going to be a cross Terran matchup on this map, Shakuris Plateau, which, as you guys know, is a very wide map. And for all of you guys out there who are true Starcraft fans, for all of you guys who have been watching Starcraft, playing Starcraft from the good old days in Brood War, you guys probably noticed something already a little bit different about this video. Yep, that's right. You guys can hear it in the background. It is the old, original, classic Starcraft Terran theme. You know, I've been casting so many games, and I realized I forget and I miss the old classic music of Starcraft Brood War. So I really wanted to kind of bring this back to you guys, and since it's a Terran versus Terran matchup, you know, why not have a little bit of a nice little mix-up? And this just brings nostalgia back to my eyes. The old Brood War music. I really think that the Brood War theme, especially for Terran, is probably one of the best musical compositions in all of video gaming history. So, you know, what more fitting than in a Terran versus Terran game, you know, bring it back a little bit. And, whoa, look at this. The little one is going to be going for Command Center first before anything else. Well, not before the supply depot, but he's gone for a Command Center before Barracks. And this is, how fitting. This is actually one of the builds that players used to use all the time back in Starcraft Brood War in the professional scene. Players like Flash, who is a very good Terran player, he loved to go 14 Command Center. And in Brood War, really, a lot of players favored going huge macro games, opening up with early expansions, early Command Centers, early Nexuses, or I guess you would call them Nexi. They really favored that. So how fitting that I'm kind of bringing back this nostalgic moment, bringing back the old Terran music. And we're having TLO kind of on the same beat here, gonna go for an early Command Center, and now Goody scouts that out. He's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm gonna build a bunker right in front of your natural. And TLO says, oh, now I gotta build a bunker in front of my natural to defend against it. So Goody here really gonna try to bring on some early pressure. We can also see back at Goody's main, he is producing a Reaper here. So there is going to be some early pressure to open up the moments of this game. Looks like the SCV did complete the bunker. So TLO is going to have a little bit on his hands right here as the Marauder hops inside the bunker. Oh man, I love the old Terran music. This brings back tears to my eyes. Goody's got a Marauder inside the bunker. TLO finishes his bunker just in time to load it up with 2 Marines and an SCV. Keep in mind, Goody also has a Reaper on the way towards the backside. And now it's kind of a battle of attrition in front of TLO's main. Whoever can really keep this repaired for the longest time. And I really think TLO is going to win this out because he's got SCVs right at his mineral line. And really nice targeting right there of the SCVs that were repairing the bunkers by both players. But now Goody's got to be, TLO's got to be careful because Goody's Reaper is inside his main. Oh, and TLO is not paying attention. The Reaper now has 3 kills. Make it 4. Make it 4? No, maybe not 4. Oh no, the Reaper is not even gonna get his 4th kill. So nice play by Goody, scouting out the fact that TLO went for such a bold expansion, which, you know, this is really the only map you can do it on. And the fact that TLO went for that, Goody went for the exact thing he needs to do, which is apply pressure. You can't let TLO go for that early Command Center, because then you're going to be behind for the rest of the game. And, you know, finally the Reaper gets that 4th kill. So Goody doing exactly what he needs to do, hopping inside the main with the Reaper, doing this bunker harass. And if we pull up the income tab now, it looks like both players are pretty much dead. Even the Command Center now also going up for Goody. So Goody is not behind right now. He is really right on the heels of TLO in terms of economy, and I really like the pressure he's applied thus far. Now, whoa, look at this. TLO throwing up a 3rd Command Center. Good God, guys. I thought for sure TLO was going to calm it down after that, but TLO says, nope, not going to stop. I'm going to keep going for more expansions. I don't think TLO is going to use this to get an expansion quite this early. I think he's just going to use it for orbital, going to pump out more SCVs and get as much mulage as possible. And that's really going to help to solidify his economic gains early on in this game towards the mid game. And we also see on the production tab a starport going down for TLO, as well as a starport just finishing now for Goody. A tech lab also attached, but a comsat going down by TLO at the perfect location. We'll see the starport and the tech lab. So I guess both these players' idea here was to go for Banshees, but TLO should be prepared now. He's throwing down an engineering bay. He's also getting a Viking out of this starport, so he should be prepared for the Banshee quite easily. Now, I do want to say, Terran versus Terran in StarCraft 2, not the same as in StarCraft 1. StarCraft 1 really featured a lot of mech-heavy play, siege tanks. StarCraft 2 takes away a little bit of that emphasis and puts it more towards the air. Siege tanks are still a very, very powerful unit, very important in TVT, but air control is also extremely important as well. So we can see both these players rushing to get control of the sky, and we'll see how that works out. I think Goody's going to try to apply some pressure, but TLO has already got missile turrets up, so he should be just fine. And before this game, guys, before this game really kicks into high gear, I just wanted to say the HD World Tournament is beginning soon, and I wanted to cast this game for one other reason, because I realized I don't have a single mirror matchup in the HD World Tournament for the round of 16, the opening round. And there's only 4 Terran players. Terran's actually the lowest represented race, so I don't think I'm going to be casting any Terran versus Terrans at all. And so I thought I'd go ahead and cast this Terran versus Terran, because it might be the last time I cast one for a very, very long time. And you guys all know I love TVT, a very strategic game, very micro-intensive. Look at that Banshee right there, picking off a Marine, and Banshees can actually out-micro Marines quite easily, but now the Viking coming in, and I think Goody, oh wow, he realizes, you know what, I'm going to lose this Banshee anyway. He's going to hop in here, try to do as much damage as I can, kills an SCV, and it kills a Marine off, so not bad right there by Goody, but not doing as much damage, I feel, as Goody wants to do. Goody really wants to make, he needs to make more happen than just kind of killing off a couple SCVs, damaging SCVs here or there in the main and the natural, and really investing into a Banshee and trying to halt this early expansion by TLO. I don't think he's done as much damage as he's wanted to, but he has applied enough pressures to the point where he has not fallen behind in this game. You guys can see his economy is right behind TLO, and he's actually favoring more of a mech style play here, guys. He's got a ton of factories going up. Good God, he's got 2 factories, adding reactors and tech labs everywhere. He's also getting pre-igniter. That's kind of interesting. So it's very, very interesting right now for Goody, who's going for mostly mech, and TLO, I believe, who's going for mostly bio and air. And it looks like he's going to kill off this SCV at the watchtower, which and he's also killing off the rocks over here towards the north, so he may be thinking about expanding over here to this central 12 o'clock location. So killing off this SCV at the watchtower, very, very important, so that he can establish this without Goody realizing that the command center is going down. And yeah, TLO is going to lift off that auxiliary command center that he's had for so long, and he's going to go ahead and fly it over towards this 12 o'clock location. And he's going to try to get a little bit of economy going. Meanwhile, also bringing in a Banshee over towards the north. Going to try to apply some pressure to Goody, but I think Goody is well prepared for this. He's also got a Raven here, which is kind of interesting. Don't actually see Ravens all too often in Terran versus Terran, but the PDD can be very, very effective. Looks like the Banshee tried to do some damage, but no, the missile turret stops it cold in its tracks. And the Banshee will have to fall back and fight another day. It's going to go back and probably get repaired by TLO, who has now gotten his 3rd expansion up. He's got a saturation going at that 12 o'clock location. And this is where Goody is going to have to make a move. He is now going to really fall behind in economy, as TLO's got triple the amount of, or not triple, but he's got a 3rd orbital command, which means more mules. He's got the extra mineral nodes and the gas coming up right here. And gas is the hugest factor in Terran versus Terran, especially for Goody, who basically is going for mass mech. So gas for him is a huge, huge factor, and he needs to get another command center, or he needs to make an attack happen right away to halt this command center from getting saturation. And look at that, Goody already 1 step ahead of me as a caster, dropping off a Hellion, but the other 3 Hellions inside the dropship still, and the Viking will actually be able to pick it off. Is it going to be able to drop off in time? No, it does not. And look at TLO so wisely already transferred his SCVs to safety. away from this Hellion drop. And now, oh wow, he picks off the Hellion really easily, and you can bet now the SCVs are going to come right back to work. So TLO is so aware this game. He is seriously, I don't know what it is. It's intense concentration. Maybe he's also rocking out to the Terran music, the classical Terran music. But it looks like now Goody realizes, okay, you have a third expansion. I need to do something about it. He's going to bring his Hellions and his Marines up here. TLO does see it with the Vikings, so he realizes the imminent threat from the forces above. A Banshee here. Oh, Goody, just drop a scan and you'll be able to take it out. Yes, he does have a scan, and he is going to be able to kill off that Banshee really easily. And now the Hellions fire, not so effective against rock, obviously, but with the support of the tanks and Marines and Marauders, that's going to go down along with the Thors. And now TLO in a bit of a situation here. He has to hold this off. I don't know if he has enough forces. Goody really coming out with Thors almost out of nowhere. And this is just a brilliant timing attack, striking TLO when he was just getting saturation going. TLO bringing in his forces, pulling SCVs off the line. He loses a ton of his economy as a result. TLO, though, did have a Banshee in the back, and wow, he clears out the army of Goody just like that. Brilliant play indeed, and his command center is going to remain alive. And now Goody, I really thought that attack was going to do a lot more damage, at least kill off the orbital, but he was only able to kill off about 8 or 9 SCVs in that exchange, so not, I mean, I guess it was worth it because they both traded armies, but I think TLO still came out on top. He has a very large tank Marine army, and it looks like he's going to try to do some kind of a roundabout attack here. He's got to be careful though. There's a lot of tanks sieged up right there. Some Hellions meanwhile for Goody, kind of moving around across the map, trying to search for the third expansion, but it's still being constructed. And now TLO is going to bring in a dropship full of Marines, or just 3 Marines, trying to drop on top of the tanks as he attacks with his forces, but not enough firepower, and Goody's tanks survive the drop. And now TLO will have to fall back. Oh no, the dropship with 2 tanks could possibly go down. As a result, TLO realizing he needs to drop his tanks off, and more reinforcements from the north from that opening at the top side. Can TLO hold on? No, he is not going to be able to, and I really think TLO might have extended himself there. I think after defending this 12 o'clock location, he did not need to continue pushing his forces forwards. But I guess he said, you know what, I want to keep going, but I don't think that worked out very well. And now he's going to lose all of his forces. He will have to fall back. Oh man, this is just brutal. You guys can see Goody just doing work right here, continuing to supply more forces from his expansions down below. And now, what can TLO do? He has to defend here. He cannot allow this army to encroach upon his 12 o'clock expansion, because this is what is keeping TLO ahead in this game. Oh no, the Hellions are inside the mineral line now, and TLO is gonna have to lift off. So just like that, Goody makes a brilliant attack. And now look at this, TLO is going for battle cruisers. Whoa, TLO is just pulling out all his stops here, ladies and gentlemen. He says, okay, fine, you can have this orbital. I already got all the gas and minerals I needed anyways. I'm going for BCs now, man. And now he's actually got a Banshee here, which is surprisingly doing a lot of damage to Goody. Goody does not have a scan, apparently. And if this Thor goes down, all the anti-air will be lost, and this Banshee can kill off everything. Finally, a scan being thrown down. The Thor trying to attack the Banshee. Goody here is trying to focus the Thor on the Banshee. The thing was getting a little confused for a moment, going back and forth, but eventually both the Thor and the Banshee go down. And TLO somehow survives the continued onslaught. He was able to hold off the attack at this location right here. Very well done. And actually, I think he halted the sight of Goody, because Goody probably, no, Goody does see the fusion core, so Goody should be aware that there are battle cruisers on the way right now. And right now we're kind of having a floating city complex, as there's just orbitals floating everywhere. TLO is trying to find new locations to establish more mineral intake. But this is going to be a really crazy moment here, because TLO is making that extremely fragile transition into battlecruisers, and battlecruisers can be very effective when they get large in number, but right now TLO doesn't have that many BCs, and TLO is suffering from mineral intake. He lost an orbital command right here, he lost a lot of income, and right now I think Goody may be very far ahead. He's got 169 supply compared to 148. TLO pushing forward here. He's got his battlecruiser to the north, dealing some damage. There's only a couple of Vikings, and if TLO can micro this correctly, he may be able to win. He needs some support for his BC though. The micro from Goody keeping the Vikings away from the BC's range. very well done. And TLO's battlecruiser cannot afford to give chase to the Vikings. Will have to try to pick off as many forces as they can. Finally, the battlecruiser goes down. It breaks apart in half in midair and falls apart to the ground. And Goody is looking amazing, guys. He's got control of the center of the map. He has a much larger army at 177 over 133. And thanks to his control of the center, he's going to go ahead and bring some Hellions around. And TLO trying to scramble his forces to deal with that. It looks like he will be able to. Very nicely. Takes care of the Hellions and prevents any serious drone or any serious income harassment. I think, though, that there might have been some Hellions over here because it seems like this orbital command took some damage, which indicates to me that some SCVs might have gone down from an earlier skirmish. Now TLO also bringing up a force from the north. He realizes, you know, I'm really far behind right now. I have to make some kind of an attack happen. And I like this. He's bringing his army around to the north. He's going to try to strike this expansion. But Goody, already one step ahead, realizes the impending attack is going to bring his forces back. And I think this is going to be able to be defended quite easily. So T signing out. There, buddy. And TLO right now is he's just trying to hang on. He's trying to get as many battlecruisers as he can. I like that play. And you guys can see right now he's getting 2 battlecruisers. He's getting Vikings to support the BCs as well. But honestly, because the BCs have already been revealed, we can see that Goody already has a pretty significant Viking fleet just roaming the skies right now. And I just don't know if the battlecruiser is going to work, especially once Goody has already got this many Vikings. Vikings are very powerful against battlecruisers. It looks like Goody is thinking, you know, I need to make an attack before the battlecruiser fleet becomes too big and too difficult to deal with. So I like this strategy, going into attack here. TLO forced to engage. He's going to lose his battlecruiser, and everything on the ground gets obliterated by the siege tanks. TLO here is in a lot of trouble. The Vikings now with nothing left to shoot in the air. I think they're going to land on the ground, and that they do to clean up the rest of the forces. And things are just looking horrible right now for TLO. Oh my goodness. The forces are continuing to push forward here by Goody, and he's going to start to siege up and take out this planetary fortress, and I don't know if TLO has anything to deal with that. He's got some reinforcements back at home, but, you know, I think he's completely stopped battlecruiser production at this time. This may be the last one we see for a while, because I don't know if he can afford to make anymore. And now look at that, the orbital command has been taken out, or the planetary fortress has been taken out, and now, oh, TLO is going to try to defend here. There's a lot of Vikings here, but with the support of TLO's Vikings and Marines, the battlecruiser will stay alive. That battlecruiser almost got picked off, and now TLO moving down south is gonna pick off the siege tanks. Oh wow, very nice play by TLO, hitting the siege tanks when they were unsieging, when they were moving down to the south. Goody had a shot to take out this expansion, but TLO wisely takes that army out before it could go down to the south, and I think TLO handled that in the best way possible. If you guys remember what happened, TLO actually sent his army to the center right here, cut off the reinforcing route, so he stranded this attacking army over here that killed off the planetary, and basically TLO allowed one of his planetaries to go down, but after cutting off the reinforcement route, he was able to strike this army as it was moving down to this expansion, and he was able to take it out because Goody's positioning of his tanks was not all that good. So essentially TLO sacrificed one planetary fortress to save the other, and he kind of had to do that in order to have a chance at winning in the long-term game. But honestly, it's a long shot for here, guys, because TLO, his economy is in tatters. 48 harvesters to 88, that's almost double for Goody. And Goody's just got huge amounts of factories back home, continuing to pump. This is like the Terran muscle, just continuing to pump out more and more mechanized units. And I think Goody is actually up by about 3 bases right now. TLO is, oh my god, there's some Hellions inside right here. So apparently we had another Hellion drop inside the bottom expansion, and a ton of SCVs are going to go down as a result. TLO is just, oh my god, he is just falling apart by the seams right now. He finally has some Marines to clean that up, and even the battlecruiser being brought down to defend as well. But things are just not going the way TLO wants it to go, because I think the turning factor in this game was this battle right here at this topside expansion. I think after TLO defended over here, he overextended himself and he allowed this command center to get taken out. And I think that's what's cost him the game right now. As Goody's just got this massive ball. I think he's about to ready to move out and finish this game. That's a lot of tanks, that's a lot of Thors, and a lot of Viking support. TLO only with Marines and Marauders, and I don't know how well Bio fares against tanks. I can say, though, that if real life is an example, I don't think, even if you had 20 U.S. Army troops, I don't think you could take out an M1 Abrams tank, M1A1 Abrams tank very easily. So I think Goody here is gonna win this game. TLO falling back with his fragile bio, realizing I'm in a lot of trouble. But how much further back can you fall? Because eventually you're gonna give full map control to Goody, and Goody can strike this expansion and this expansion with ease with his Hellions. Looks like Goody already thinking about doing it, gonna move down to the south. TLO forced to split his army to defend against that, but his forces are stretched very, very thin right now. You guys can see he's got some Marines and Marauders here, and they are spread out to deal with the tanks. But no, I don't know if this is gonna work very well at all for TLO. Here we go, the Vikings landing, and Goody is just going to stomp on TLO, and that is it. GG calls the little one. So what a game. A victory for Goody to the triumphant fanfare of the Starcraft Terran music from Brood War. And I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I certainly did. And it was definitely an interesting game. I think Goody really played phenomenally in this game, and I want to say that this is a best of 3. I don't think I mentioned that before, so there are going to be more games coming out, guys, after this game. Once again, these are exhibition games before the HD World Tournament begins next week. What an incredible Terran versus Terran, and we're going to move on to game number 2.